There you go.
And one day you realize that they start having these characteristics that you didn't want there.
Amen, brother. They start adopting all these other ideas. And you be like, the social services come through. Who do you want to stay with? I don't want to be with her. I don't want to be with him. Why? Because now your rules are different than what the friends' rules in the world. Right? Little did you know, there was politicking and talking to their kids in the school. And you didn't even, a lot of parents don't ask that. So who you talk to in school? They just let them be friends with anybody. I had to start that young. Who you friends with in school? Oh yeah, who you hang around with? What y'all sit and talk about? You don't do that, they grow up and all the friends influence them more than you. Then you're like, damn, where's this spirit coming from? A rebellious, argumentative, right? It's because you left them alone, right? You got to be there in that mind. Yeah, Manasseh, put your hand down. Let some of these grown-ups, come on, Mike. Yeah, sis.
What does it mean when you said that they were willful life? How does that mean that they were?
That willful meaning that they will willfully do anything they want to do.
Okay.
Right. They become willful, meaning that to any other will. Right? So if you're not on top of them, you're not communicating, you're not knowing what's going on with their mind, they will do every other will because you didn't guide them. Right? Isn't that what happened to you? Who formulated your psyche? The streets, right? Yeah. Nobody sat down with him and be like, let's not do it this way. Nah, it's little Tukey raised him. Right? God, but who raised you? Who raised you? Did your parents raise you? No, I'm asking. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that just to be the guy. They did. You're saying they did it. There you go. Now, not everybody's in that case. Some parents were there, right? For some of us. But you see, a lot of us, they were there in show. But when we got to school, they didn't come back and be like, well, who's your friends? What y'all talking about? That's very important. And then next you know, their friends are lesbian, their friends are a Muslim, their friend is this, and now they start what? Taking from their friends. You got to be real careful, man. Instead of adopting the scriptures. So let's go back. Where are we at?
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5.
Yeah.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
You got to watch how you present yourself as a Israelite woman, the way you walk, talk, dress. Everything is going to represent you, represent the Father, represent the truth. Y'all know that, right? So the Most High gives us the rules. How are you dressing? Huh? You want to dress like a dyke? A lot of women don't see that. That they dress like men. Right? And they don't put out an effeminate vibration. An effeminate spirit. You got to watch that. The Most High, that's against the law. Go ahead.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Oh, what are you wearing and how does it look on you? Huh? I get it. You want a slim fit, but is your booty sticking out, brother? You understand? I get it. You want extra medium. You want extra medium shirts, but come on now. Huh? If we tie a bow in the front, how would that look? It's too tight on you, brother. It's too tight. Now, I'm not saying you got to have it, looking like a dress, Like back in the days, they used to wear the shirts.
Tall tees. Jorts. Tall tees.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what the scripture said. Like, let's go to Ecclesiastes. What is it? 19? Go to Ecclesiastes 19. Where is it? 9. Let's see here. The gate.
19 and 30.
It is, right? Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 29.
Go ahead.
A man may be known by his look.
Right. So y'all see that, right?
No.
You're known by how you look. Don't let the world fool you, man. You're judged by your outward appearance, for the most part. They're going to look at you and what you represent. Right? So, you're a Hebrew Israelite man, you got to know how to dress. You're a Hebrew Israelite woman, you got to know how to dress. And what you put on, how you're going to be perceived. Right? We know that because you know a police officer by his garment. You know a doctor by his garment. That's why these cats, they got smart. The thugs, they can throw on a FedEx jacket, knock on your door. And you what?
Wow.
You let them in. You open up the door and everything. You don't know. They can pull a gun on you and everything. All they did was what? Change their garment. Why? Because that is what? Visual. You identify that with that. Right? Y'all seen that on YouTube and World Star, right? They knock on the door. They be trying to dress like a cop.
The one in Dallas.
Really?
Where S.O.W was acting like maintenance men.
Oh, there you go. They act like me.
Well, S.O.W inside door was fishing.
Right.
He shot through the door.
Right. Like, nah, bruh. But the Bible tells us that this is what people look at us for. Right? What's that, Manasa?
So what I was gonna say is, there was this video that I watched. It was this dude pulling a prank on a person. They had another person dressed as a fake police officer, and they said he did his job right by scaring the person.
Right. So you got these police, you got these cats dressing like anything and deceiving the masses. And they're called transformers. They're called trannies, transsexuals, right? And they what? Dress like males and dress like females. So you're known by, and they know that when they put on this character, right? This character, they know what? That people are gonna take them for being a woman, or people are gonna take them for being a man. So don't be deceived, y'all. Let's use wisdom. Let's use common sense. Read on.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance.
So the way you walk, the way you dress, the way your countenance looks, right? Countenance is your outward facial expressions or aura, right? You can be perceived as an asshole just by your facial expressions. Right? You can be perceived as a person that is not approachable by your facial expressions. Damn, I can't tell. Damn, this person don't look like I can approach them. So that all makes sense. Like when we go past fires, we can't be in Terminator mode. Yeah, we're trained to what? Yeah, we're trained to welcome them. Right. We're fishers. Right? So you gotta have the proper bait. You can't just be looking at them like you angry as hell. They'd be like, no, you look scary. First of all, it's like 14 of y'all out there. You all black, and then everybody's just mean mugging. Right? They're gonna be like, these guys you're up to something suspicious. So you gotta come with the right aura. Sisters, the one that has the resting sister face, right? The ones that have the strong demeanors, right? How are you gonna come off to sisters? I always bring it up about Shawashna. She had to relearn how to smile, how to come across, because she has a serious, non-smiling face. I'm like, nah, the sisters are gonna pick up something. They're gonna think you don't like them. That's just how people think, right? So she had to do what? Change for who? For all of us, right? She had to change. Yes, she had to change. Right, so you gotta change your demeanor? Yes. Or nobody's gonna mess with you. How they know they can talk to you, deal with you? You see that? So you gotta be able to adapt to the what Paul said, I became all things to all men to do what? Let's go there. Y'all acting like y'all don't know it. Let's go there. Where we at?
1 Corinthians 9 verse 22.
Go ahead.
To the weak became I as weak.
Yeah, there you go. So you condescend. And not in that negative way, but in really coming down and understanding, okay, this person is weak at this time, they need help. Go ahead.
That I might gain the weak.
That I might gain the weak. Go ahead.
I have made all things.
Where are you at?
1 Corinthians 9 and 22.
Go ahead.
I have made all things to all men.
You're right. Well, no, I don't got to change for nobody.
I have made all things to all men.
No. You got to stop all that. That a lot of these men ain't really in the book to understand that. That we do conform to each other. Right? Go ahead.
That I might by all means
right.
Save some.
It's about saving brothers and sisters, not running them off. Go ahead.
It says, and this I do for the gospel's sake.
Right, because we already know the gospel itself is going to cut. It's going to cut. I can sit up here and smile with certain scriptures. It don't matter. That's going to rip through you, right? It's meant for that. So, what is the Bible showing us? That our demeanor, walk, talk, dress is going to show what you are. Right? That's why the Most High said don't shave your beard in certain ways. It's effeminate. It makes it brings out, like when you mar and you shape your beard and all that, right? That makes you look effeminate. The whole point of that is to bring out your what? Your features, right? Right? Accentuate your beauty. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's why you did it in the world. I hate that 1 month when they do it real thin. That ain't it. But it makes you look effeminate. Right? Was that it?
Last precept.
Go ahead.
That I might be partakers thereof with you.
There you go. So it's about winning them, right? Gaining them, right? So you're done with those. Let's jump back to the reading.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5, last precept.
Go ahead.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy power.
Who knows what an abomination is, Hebrew Israelites? Raise your hand. Come on. Bro, come on, y'all. Y'all got to know what an abomination is. Who's that? Let's do Sharina. Flick at the mic. Just say it.
Destruction?
Abomination? No. No, that's not it. Lashabar.
Is a disgrace.
Closer. What you got?
Something that causes great disgust or hatred.
There you go. Something that caused great disgust or hatred. Y'all got the definition? Anybody look it up? Something that causes great disgust. The Most High is disgusted at this, man. These cats, well, I think my Jesus, it doesn't matter. Bro, you tripping. The Most High said it's disgusting. He's disgusted at that. What you got?
Webster 1828. Extreme hatred, detestation.
Detestable. That's where you get nauseous. And we do, right?
God.
When we see that spirit, that homosexual vibe, right? You see the 6'1" brother And he twitching. Yeah, it's like, bruh, this dude's like, he look like he could kill 1,000 men. He can kill 1,000 men. All right. But it's what? What everybody's doing. Detestable. It's not about us. Of course it's detestable to us. But some of us were trained to what? I'm not going to judge. Hell nah, this is disgusting. It's disgusting. We're supposed to be disgusted by it. Right? And understand, that being said, at the business, don't we talk to a lot of cats like that? Yeah, we don't. So let's put things in perspective. We're still trying to change them. Right? We're not trying to say homosexuality is the greatest sin ever. Right? No. That's just like everything else. But I'll tell you this, it's one of the most detestable ones to us. It just ain't in us. So when we deal with people like that, you're supposed to understand that. I'm going to put it like this. This is why y'all got to watch this. Ariana, his rib sister is a sodomite. He asked me about 6-7 years back, hey, what do you think about the kids going with her sister? And I said, well, why are you asking that? He said, well, she's Sodom. I was like, okay, let's think about this. Let's think about the logic of a sodomite. How do they think? Don't judge. You can be anything you want to be, right? You can move any way you want to move. And then their demeanor in itself displayed that brazen. I like other gender. I like my gender. You got your kids around that. So this is why you got to watch what women you get with. Because what happens is you got a woman that got friends like that, family like that, and it's like, well, I'm not judging that. They're going to stay with what your kids going to be learning. What are they going to be learning? Because she figures, oh, don't judge. Hell nah. If that's the case, let little Hebrew Israelite hang around with a little drug dealer down the block. Would you do that? No. Why? Because he's what? He's better or worse than the homosexual? No, they're the same thing. It's the same thing. You won't do that with him. Hey, listen, man, go hang around with little Tukey out there and then they're selling packs on the block. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get shot. What's gonna happen with the sodomite? Training your child. He gonna get shot. Right? Same thing. Right? Because they're gonna break down his defenses. Right? And that's what America's doing right now. Breaking down the defenses of the young black Hispanic children with all this homosexuality and grafting and what we do. Right? What's that? Give him the mic. Go ahead, grab the mic. How's it? Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I had another definition for abomination.
Yeah.
This is the Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionary. That which is abominable, anything hateful, wicked, or shamefully vile, an object or state that excites disgust and hatred.
Yeah.
A hateful or shameful vice, pollution.
Pollution, and that's what your kids are going to be polluted. So polluted. Yeah, sis. Yeah, hand it to her, sis.
So this was a quick question that I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So I work in a warehouse and I work with a group of people and there are like gay people among them. How do I, go about that? Like, what do I do? Do I just, because some of them ask me if I'm gay.
Okay, since working with them? and friends with them is two totally different things.
Because they're trying to, like, I guess, I don't know why, but some of them ask if I'm gay.
Oh, because they're trying to get at you.
So how do I?
Just like I'm not gay. Simple as that. You ain't gotta lose it on them. Like, I'm not fat. Most I gonna kill your ass. You ain't gotta do all that. Just, I'm not gay. That's it. You know what I mean? We're talking about being unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Like having that influence around you.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mom, well, next time, say you got it, stand it up and read it. Go read the one you got. I like the one you got. What is this, from ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
An abomination refers to something that is considered morally or ethically repugnant.
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 Yeah, that's those big words.
Yes.
You're repugnant. Right? Ethnically, ethnically repugnant. Yeah. Disgusting or detestable. Yeah. Detestable, right? Yeah. It is often used to describe something that goes against commonly accepted standard principles or values. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, let's go back.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 6. If a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way...
What verse are you supposed to read down to,
verse 17.
What verse you got?
Verse 6.
Okay, let's do this to 17. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
If a bird's nest
You
chance...
still the first reader? I was watching. What do you mean? No, I was watching. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way in any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young, but thou shalt in any wise let the dam go.
Y'all get that, right?
Come on.
Yeah, it's about not being crude. It's crude to animals, right? It's about how we keep the circle of life properly going, right? It wasn't just I'm going to go in and eat everything, destroy everything, cut every tree down. It's not about that. The Most High is telling us how. This is where Gad was. They're like, take care of Mother Earth, right? Well, that's from us. That's from being a Hebrew. We took care of Earth the proper way, right? Go ahead.
And take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days. Verse 8. When thou buildest a new house, then thou shalt make a battlement for thy roof. That thou bring not blood upon thine house. If any man fall from
if you said that the Bible didn't have everything in here, bro, you a boss. It literally tells you how to build a house the proper way, so somebody won't fall from the roof. Like, these are the things that our people are like, it's too much. Too much to literally, it shows you how to walk through life. It's not too much. Like, if you don't know how to do it, like the Father said, let's get down to it and read. Right?
I got this in my OSHA 10 training.
Yeah. Oh, your OSHA 10, what's that?
Well, that's safety for construction.
Oh, okay.
So you know how to move safely doing construction.
Check that out. It's right here in the book.
Yeah.
But when you deny the laws and try to downplay them, you won't do it. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not sow thine, verse 9, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. Right.
So the Most High knows how to keep the earth, that soil, right, producing. The reason why it don't produce like it's supposed to is because you break the laws. You're mixing the seeds. You're doing things improperly, right? That's why Isaiah 24 verse 5 says what? The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they transgress the laws, they changed the ordinance, right? They've broken the everlasting covenant. So, what point is this with us? What are we trying to do? We're trying to remind the kids why to do it the way the Most High said. Your way is not going to work. We're trying to remind us that the way the Most High said, down to the detail works. He damn made everything. You're trying to tell him how to do it, what's good and what's not. He made it. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together.
Right. One is made for plowing, the other's not. Right? So what is that called? Huh? What is the Most High looking out for? What is it? Go ahead, say it.
Crossbreeding.
No. No, no, not at all. Let's read it one more time,
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not plow.
Do you know what plow is?
Talking about the animals doing the farm, beating the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking another. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass.
It's talking about you using them to turn over that ground, right? One is made for it, the other wasn't. Like you're improperly using the animals of the earth,
Okay.
right? You're gonna wear one out,
Okay.
right? See, the Most High is literally do everything, showing us how to take care of the earth, the land, the sea, the air, the people, everything. What's that, sis?
Also, it was supposed to be symbolic to unevenly yoked, right? No? Because you have...
Yeah, that, huh?
That'd be the literal one.
Yeah, right, the spiritual aspect.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the one she's quoting is the spiritual.
Right, the one she's quoting is spiritual, exactly. Go ahead.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts.
Right. So remember the garment, people don't understand this. This one is a common one that's misconstrued. It means that I got cloth and it's sewed within it. It's not saying you can't wear a cotton shirt and a linen pants. It's saying you wear mingle. Like, who does that anyway, right? Well, Esau. They start engrafting different synthetics and things with cotton, right? They mingle them. And then your body, you see our body breaks out in certain areas because certain materials don't go together, right? Then if you want to get deep, right, the brothers start talking about the vibration of the vibration of the linen and the cloth and all that. You can get into that too. Yeah. But the problem is this, that we don't want to look at it that way. We don't want to do nothing the way the Most High said. Y'all overcomplicating life. Nah, it's just the devil already changed everything, and now it's for us, the godsons, to put it back in order. Right? Go ahead.
As woolen and linen together.
Read.
Verse 12.
Right. Now, who would do that? Woolen and linen together. That don't even make no sense. If I got a wool shirt and a linen pair of pants. That don't make no sense. Right? Where you going? Is it winter? Is it winter or is it summer? Right? What is it? You got a linen pair of pants with a woolen shirt. He's backwards, man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture.
Okay, so the scriptures is telling us, so your vesture. I don't understand why brothers making this so overcomplicated. You can't wear it on your t-shirts. Bro, it's a vesture, they're saying is your outward gear. Right? Like a vest. Right? But was the Most High telling us you cannot wear fringes everywhere else? No, he was just saying that when you wear your clothes, your outward apparel, right? People need to see that. You can wear it on your damn drawers. That ain't unlawful. It don't say that. It's unlawful to wear it on a t-shirt. You know, the brother said, yeah, I came over, they didn't want me to wear fringes on the t-shirt. Why? Because it says vesture. But the law is not saying you cannot wear it on everything else. You can wear it on your socks if you damn want to. Luffy got it on the bottom of his pants. Right? On the cuff of his pants. So what? He got fringes on. Luffy. The one piece. Yeah. So the point is this, y'all, that it's not unlawful to wear fringes on other things, but the law was we were to wear fringes on our outward apparel. Right? Go ahead.
Of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
There you go. Go ahead.
Verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasion.
Okay, let me say this on this. Very important. When you go to the Hebrew, right? Okay, and you go to any definition, because I know from a sister standpoint it's saying the first a mind unlearned or a negative mind might be. So you're saying the husband can hate his wife. Well, the Bible tells us not to what? Hate thy brother, right? Okay, so which one is it? Which one is it? So he can get the opportunity to hate? Or now we got to look up the word and understand what this means, right? Deuteronomy what? 22 and what?
22 and 13.
So 22 and 13. So if you look up the word hate here, and we know this. Enemy, foe, odious. Right? Odious. It says the root is hateful, to be hateful. Right? So if you look at the word hate, it's a strongly dislike. No, the man is not supposed to hate his rib. No, the man is not supposed to hate. He's not justified. Oh, because the law says hate that. Well, the other law says hate not thy brother. He that hated his brother, right, is a murderer. Okay, so we got to deal with some understanding according to all the verses, or we're going to just use one verse and stand on that, and that's going to give us lack of understanding. It's telling us strongly dislike. And yes, you could dislike your rib. She could be out of order, and you could be, I'm not messing with that. Right? I am not messing with that spirit. I strongly dislike you right now. Right? To dislike greatly, to have a great aversion to. Right? Right now, I'm not messing with that. Right? So this is what it's telling us. Go ahead. I know that's something so small, but I know how minds can think. You should know too. Oh, see, he can hate his wife. No, that's not what it's saying. It says, right, in Scripture, it signifies to love less. There you go. I like that. That's a blue letter? Oh, 1828. There you go. It signifies in Scripture to love less. Right? Because the Bible says not to hate each other. Not to hate your brother. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
I like that.
And give occasion of speech against her.
And
bring up an evil name upon her.
Right. So, she's doing something, right? And he brings a name on her. Because what do we learn? What did we learn yesterday? Everybody got a name. Somebody's vouching for you. So if you go back and you say what? Nah, something is wrong. This sister's off. This sister's done this, or this sister's waiting here, or she's like this, right? That's her name. See, back in those days and now too, you're known by your name. Go ahead.
And say I took this woman, and when I came to her,
Right.
I found her not a maid.
Right. So we laid together, but she wasn't a virgin. A maid and a virgin, it tells you, is a young maid or a young woman of marriageable age. So this woman, right? He's saying, this is what he's saying though, all right? That, oh, we laid together and she wasn't a virgin. Go ahead.
Then shall the father of the damsel,
Right?
and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity.
The tokens were the sheets of blood or stained by her virginity. Oh, look, what are you talking about? We got the sheet. Right? That's why when you look at all these old ancient movies in 1600s and the kings, they all like almost standing there waiting. Why? Because you can't disannul this chick's name, or you can't say something falsely against her. Right? See, what does it show also? It wasn't about disrespecting the women. The Bible don't stand for that. See, that's another thing that we have. Oh, you know, the Bible was just all about men. It was just degrading men. No, it wasn't. The Bible was about order. And that's what your problem is with. Like when we talk about order and the structure, then you're like, see, that's against women. No, it's not. Order, you do that all the time. So it's not about the women is degraded, because these moments show us you couldn't just talk about a sister and be wrong. Read.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother,
Right?
take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel.
You know why I said that, right? Because when somebody tells you that, you can show them, now, look at how the Most High stood for them. He wasn't going to let a sister just be called anything. Y'all see that? All right, go ahead.
Unto the elders of the city.
Go ahead.
In the gate.
Right?
And the damsel.
You would take them where? To the elders. All right, bro, you're bringing up an accusation? That ain't right. We got the tokens of her virginity here, right? And you're lying on her. Go ahead.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her.
Right, now he's talking and saying things about her that ain't true. Go ahead.
Saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity.
It's the tokens. And what happens is when a woman is a virgin and the man pierces that woman, there is a right, the hymen, right, is broken, and that can leave a little bit of blood for all the teenagers in here and all the ones that are going to grow up and have to deal with that. So if you use devices, that's done. No man's not going to know you're a virgin. You see that? That's from now, this day and age. You use your devices, a man ain't going to see that. And then you don't have to get spooked when you see it. Like, wait a minute, oh, no, that's what happens. Y'all get that? Bro, sex education right here, bro. Most High is like, Most High tells us everything. We don't need the white man. I don't need the white man to tell me nothing. First of all, your deluded, perverted, crazy ass mind, you're going to tell us in some weird way. Why we got to dress up, damn, put condoms on, whatever the hell. Why we got to do that? You know what I mean? But the problem is that they don't know how to do it the way the Father said, right? What?
They actually, so back in like 7th grade, I was in health class, they actually show you what a penis looks like, and I threw up. I got kicked out because I threw up, but they show you what it looks like, and you have to put it on a banana and everything. It's actually like so graphic. And then they show you what it looks like with like diseases and stuff.
That's good though. I'm glad they do that. That way it reminds the kids what happens when you sleep around. You get bumpy combs. Go, yeah.
I didn't want my daughter going to the class, so she's like, Mom, you're embarrassing me. I'm the only one gotta go sit in another classroom while they go over sex ed. And I was like, because me and your father will teach you that. You don't need to learn from me.
There you go.
No.
Again, Esau ain't damn good, ain't it?
He's like,
But-
I'm the only one who had to sit out of class, Mom. I was like, you're different.
Yeah. What?
Read, like, based on what you said.
Give her the mic, because she has a humble voice. No, that way they can hear you online. Yeah. Portsmouth. Portsmouth. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead, sis.
based on what she was saying, I don't know if they followed through with this, where they were saying that they were gonna start teaching transgender body parts and all that in schools. So when I was in school, they did have like a day dedicated to girls, and they teach you about your body and all that, similar to what she went through with strictly girls. And but it's not the same as it was 10 years ago, you know,
No.
12 years ago.
No.
So
I wonder when they're going to talk about transgender. Like, he got breasts and a penis?
they said they was gonna switch it to make transgenders' bodies, like the surgeries and stuff that they have, a part of the curriculum.
Oh, wow. And you know, they're weird. They ain't got no nipples. Bro, it's disgusting, man. Transhumanism, yeah. Just say it loud.
I remember when I was in sex ed, the teacher, she pulled out a condom and she was passing it around, and then she said someone could keep it. I was like,
She said what?
Someone could keep the condom in the classroom. It's 7th grade, so I was like, I already
Yeah,
know.
how old are you in 7th grade?
12.
Bruh.
And then one of the girls took it. I was like,
Yeah. See? Go ahead, read out.
Verse 17, last precept.
Uh-huh.
And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Right? They shall spread the cloth before the what?
Before the elders of the city.
Right. All right, so that's it on him. Okay, come on. Next brother. Okay, so the brother, real quick, the brother Ladnell wanted his Hebrew name.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, since he's up here.
Yeah.
So who got the name and tell them how y'all came up with this?
Well,
Bukhari.
myself.
You got it, brother.
Right. No, Bukhari and myself, we had thought about it, but we didn't know if he wanted a name change or nothing yet, so we wanted to make sure that was something that he wanted.
Right.
You know, and that he was ready for it, but we had already kind of thought about it.
Right, so we waited a while. He said he didn't want a name, and like the scriptures, I know we've been over this before. The Hebrew name is determined by his character, right? It can be determined by how he functions, how he moves in the body, right? His gift, right? So this is how these names are considered. As y'all know, you should be well aware of, according to the scriptures. We just went over this the other day, right? So what do y'all got?
Nazayar.
Naziyar.
Kawat.
Kawath. Kawath. Right, Naziyar Kawath. And I think y'all were talking about him being dedicated to his family and zealous, like as he came in and gave himself to the Most High, the zeal to his family, the dedication, and how he was, it says 10 times more. So that's what this means, which is Nazir Kawath, which is what?
Devoted covering.
Devoted covering. Devoted covering. Right? So these names, I'll tell you like this, they ain't recycled names. Like, there's a lot of recycled names, y'all. You know what I mean? But, like, your name, like, the names y'all got are different. So, and I'm saying that coming from, I done heard so many names in Israel, but these names, they're different. And that speaks to a brother not just popping something coming in his head and being like, you know what? You a warrior, huh? Kabar, right? Like, how many Kabars we got? You know what I mean? It's really to your character, to your dedication, and how you come in and giving yourself to the Most High. And brothers really thought about this. So, devoted covering, Nazayar Kawath. So, he shall no longer be called Lanel. Brothers Amaja? He should no longer be called Lanel. The name is Nazayar Kawath, if you want that. Okay. Devoted covering. Alright? So, we'll skip the hugging for class, but we'll do the salute. Alright? You can hug him after. Come.
Salute now, Brother Lionel. Salute name, Trooper Nazayar Kowat. After my mic, Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatam.
Kum Yasha.
Kum Yasha. Kum Yasha. Kum Yasha.
Right. So devoted covering Nazayar Kawath. Wath. Watha is wath. Alright? I know we're going to mess that up a few times, but I'm reiterating. Nazayar Kawath. Go ahead.
Nazayar Kawath, Shabbat Shah, Yahweh Ban Yasharala.
Nazayar Kawath. Did we forget something? No. Nazayar Kawath, Shabbat Shah, Yahweh Ban Yasharala. Imagine. Right?
Yahweh Ban Shem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatam.
Devoted covering. So we'll send it out, the spelling and everything. Nazayar Kawath. Y'all can give y'all dads some hugs after class so we can get through this. You're at verse 18, 20, Deuteronomy 22 and 18 down at Deuteronomy 23 and 4. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 18.
Go ahead.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
Right.
And they...
You see that? So you were getting checked on the point that you cannot just defile somebody's name like that. You cannot just speak against a sister and be lying on her. Right? You're gonna get checked. You're gonna get chastised. Go ahead.
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel.
Right. Now you have to pay what? No. This ain't a dime. This is what? A retribution. You know how Johnny Depp, he went to court? Now you have to deal with defamation. Right? I'm not a woman abuser. That's what he said. So what happens? Now he can sue her for what? Defamation. Right? So you have to pay for that. You have to pay. Bro, you're making statements that ain't right. The Most High was standing for women too. Go ahead.
because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel.
Right.
And she shall be his wife.
Right.
He may not put her away all his days.
There you go. You have to take on that responsibility. You're captain. You're captain. That's your rib. Why your mouth open like that?
Because like it seemed like I don't know if he hated her for real, but it seemed like he disliked her.
There's something that he disliked in her. See, that's where, where the spirit comes in is this. It's like this. You get in these relationships and then you lay with each other. Not you, because thou art me. But you got brothers and sisters that got in relationships and they go through the quick, we're having fun, we're going to the movies, we're sipping spaghetti and feeding each other and feeding each other wine and drinking each other's wine. Does that actually happen? It don't happen? Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
I would like to think that's happening, right? Where you're feeding each other spaghetti and giving each other cake and all that, right? And then next you know, you find out what? There's something you don't like in this person. And this is, you know what, dude, I ain't dealing with you no more. No. Biblically, you are just going to break up because you find out that what? He leaves his socks on the floor. Right? She got streaks. Right? That's due for breakup. No, it's not. You're going to tell her how to take care of her body. You didn't know her breath stinks.
Oh, man.
You know why? You know why I like this? Because this is reality. And the points I'm bringing out is be what? It be you like, man, I can't deal with her. You just lay with this woman. So before you lay with her, know these things, right? Go to her house. Go to his house. You'll see what type of man he is before you lay with him. What happens is we jump in the sack and then we try to disannul the marriage. And the Most High's like, no, you're not going to do that. You guys are bound. He couldn't just cap and leave her. Go ahead.
Verse 20.
Go ahead.
But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel.
Well, we know what that means. Go ahead.
Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house.
Right.
And the men of her city shall stone her with stones.
Why? Because she most likely was an adulteress. She laid with somebody else. So adultery comes into play. Fornication. Right? That's why she would get stoned. Now we know nobody's getting stoned nowadays. But the Most High don't like adultery. He don't like fornication. Right? He's saving you for judgment day. Go ahead.
That she died.
Right. Read on.
Because she hath brought folly in Israel.
Right.
To play the whore in her father's house.
There you go. Go ahead.
So shalt thou put evil away from among you. Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband.
Okay. Note this. Adultery for a man. It's clear. A man, read it again.
If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband.
Right. Married to a what?
An husband.
Right. Where are you at? Deuteronomy what?
Verse 22, chapter 22, verse 22.
Right. 22 and 22. Go ahead.
If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband.
Go ahead.
Then they shall both of them die.
Right. Die. Just like he said, they don't die. Right? Go to Leviticus 20 and 10. Just like he said, you go die, boy. The Most High don't like that. Alright? So what does that mean, man? What does that mean to y'all, man? What does the scripture mean to us? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, I thought Sharina raised her hand. I'm like, I said Ben.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, it means that if you want to
if you're looking at a woman and you want to take her to wife, you got to do your due diligence and your research on her and prove her before you just sleep with her.
Right. Also, one point you left out, you said it, but just to go a little bit deeper. You got to know she don't got no man on the due diligence part. Right? And nowadays, when she got friends, you know what that means. You got to ask her. So how many of these friends you sleep with? Well, none of them. Or, you know what, we do our, you know what I mean? It's like that nowadays. 2024, it ain't like back in the days you got a man, and she like, no. And you're good with that. No, nowadays, no, I don't got a man, but I got friends. That means she's laying with them. Leviticus 20:10.
Colin, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10.
Go ahead.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife.
You see how the Bible is wording that? She has that's adultery for a man, because we know according to the Bible, men, patriots, kings had more than one woman. And they weren't considered adulterous. So it's very important that the other point is, sit not at all with another man's wife. That's what the word says, huh? Go ahead.
Even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife,
right,
and adulterer, and the adulteress,
yeah,
shall surely be put to death.
Okay, so go to Ecclesiastes 9:9, and I know y'all know this, but there might be somebody new that don't. There's a lot of new sisters that don't understand. You don't supposed to be sitting with another man, right? Well, he's just a friend, bruh. How you gonna look? How does this look? We just go out and have drinks. How that look? And what are y'all talking about? You telling them all your secrets?
All of them.
The secrets, I'm supposed to know your secrets. Not this other guy. Right? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
There it is. Go ahead.
Nor sit down with her in thine arms.
Right, especially they don't do that. Let me console her. You know, we've been friends since college. We've known each other since middle school. Nah. It's a dap, shalom, nice to see you. You know what I mean? Good seeing you. And move on. Go ahead.
And spend not thy money with her at the wine.
Don't send her no flowers. Don't send her I miss you cards. Friend's anniversary. Don't do it. Go ahead.
Lest thine heart incline unto her.
That's the point. You sit with another woman, your heart will incline unto her. Right? That's why best friend. You know what I mean? How many of us can say that? Well, I knew her before we got together. You were friends. Right? Yeah, but at the same time, how many friends does this woman got? So it's imperative for you to know that, okay, after you get married, that stops. Go ahead.
And so through thy desire, thou fall into destruction.
The destruction is bring them out and stone them, right? You got that. Jump back.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 22 from the top.
Uh-huh.
If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband,
right,
then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
That's the severity of the law. You got a question, Manatazak? Manatazak, you got a question? What's your question?
If a man or woman is laying down and another woman or man that was married just came in and laid down with a man or a woman
This is talking about sexual.
Oh.
Like, if your dad and your mom is on the bed, right? And your sister comes sit down on the bed. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? And start talking to them. Or another sister comes in the room and starts talking with them. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Obviously, I'm doing it for your example's sake. Obviously, they get up and start moving around and talking. But this is talking about sexual. A man is not supposed to lay with another man's woman. There's no, you're not supposed to have threesomes. You're not supposed to have foursomes. You're not supposed to see her naked according to the law, right? She was supposed to see her naked, and according to the law, that's against the Most High. All right, but this is not talking about somebody just laying down in the bed and then somebody comes sit down and start talking to them. It's talking about actual sexual relations. All right, go ahead.
Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city.
Yeah.
And ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
Right.
The damsel, because she cried not,
Mm-hmm.
being in the city.
Right.
And the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field,
Mm-hmm.
and the man force her,
He what?
Force her.
Okay, so all Israelites understand this is rape. Go ahead.
And lie with her.
Go ahead.
Then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Right. Rape of an Israelite woman. Right? Because as we read the other day, you go into these nations, take over the nations, and then the women become your servants. Right? And they become your wives. Right? Your slaves. We ain't got to deal with that. But I'm showing y'all what this word, the law, says on these different situations. Rape was against the law of the Most High. You don't rape an Israelite woman. Go ahead.
Verse 26.
I mean, you don't rape no woman. You don't rape. Let me rewind. You don't rape no woman. But we're talking about things in war, and we're talking about raping. Y'all get that? So I want to put those two different stories in context. One was when we were going to war. Right, but remember, we're supposed to keep the laws. We don't just walk around, well, she's a heathen woman, so I can rape her. No. So if stupid came into your mind, do not be ignorant. The law is telling us we're not supposed to do that. Go ahead.
Verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Right.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
Right.
For he found,
you know what that means, right? That she was overcome by that man. It wasn't her fault. She cried out. She didn't like it. She was raped. Go ahead.
For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her.
Right.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
Right, so here we go to this scripture. She doesn't have a man. Right?
And lay hold on her.
And lay with her. What is this, gangster in her? You're like Flintstones, you take her in the head and pop over her head and... No, because we just read what happens when you rape a woman. Obviously, if this woman ain't crying out, she what? She is dealing with this man. She wants this man. Y'all get that? I don't know why this is so hard. Like, you gotta overcomplicate this. Rape was unlawful. When you deal with a woman and y'all deal with each other, right? And she doesn't have a man. Go ahead.
And lie with her.
Go ahead.
And they be found.
And it's known, right?
Then
Everybody starts to know, okay, wait a minute, that's such and such wife. Go ahead.
then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver.
You were supposed to pay the dowry. The dowry was money because you were taking something valuable from the household of the father. This daughter, like my daughters, they're $30,000 a piece. I'm just kidding. Y'all like, whoa. No, but dowries back in those days were a lot. That's what the dowries. You know what I mean? But now, all jokes aside, I'm saying that because they're going to get a snippet of that. See, so that they women don't know. All jokes aside, what I understand the value in good daughters that are a help around the house, that are they help us do everything. Cook, clean, take care of the kids. So when you take that away, you can see. Now, if you got a daughter just nothing but on social media all day, yeah, you can see why she ain't worth nothing. Yeah. But when the daughters are actually benefiting and helping and around the house and helping the kids, right? And changing Pampers and cooking and cleaning, you're like, damn, now I see why this is of value to the house. The daughters back then were raised to be of value. Go ahead.
And she shall be his wife.
And you were going to take her to be your wife. Read.
Because he had humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
That's the law. I mean, that goes right back to they shall not depart. Well, why did Moses give us the law of divorce? Because the hardness of your hearts. Right? All right. Go ahead.
Verse 30. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt.
So you see that? You weren't supposed to see the nakedness of your mom. Right? You weren't supposed to sleep with your father's wife. Even if she's your stepmom, that's your father's wife. That's why it's worded like that. Your stepmom is your father's wife. Y'all get that? Okay. That's why when you go to 1 Corinthians 5:1. Just real quick.
1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1.
Yeah.
It is reported commonly,
right,
that there is fornication among you.
Right.
And such fornication as is not so much as named.
Right.
Among the Gentiles.
Right.
That one should have his father's wife.
See? His father's wife. That means what? That's a stepmom. That could be wife number 2. You weren't supposed to deal with her. Y'all get that? But I'm in love with her, you sick beast. That's what America, bro. The Greeks, the Romans, bro, anything goes. Anything goes at these parties. And it's like me and the sister was talking about. Nowadays, bro, you go to a college party, anything goes. You can wind up in any situation. Everything goes. All right? What are you reading to? Okay, go ahead, read on. Okay, good job. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
He that is wounded in the stones,
right,
or have his privy member.
Right, his stones are talking about his part of his privates, right? Okay, that's what it means by stones. That's a proper way, to tell you about the anatomy of the man. Go ahead.
Or had his privy member cut off.
Right, so you go to war, it could be an accident, it could be some situation, right? You get first of all, when that happens, it could be infection, it could be some bleeding, it could be those things, right? Or you get your thing cut off, you're different, right? Go ahead.
Shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Right, you weren't going to come in. Well, first of all, you can still be unclean. Second of all, you got these situations like nowadays where they're cutting their things off. What happens to that body? You can't undo that. It ain't like homosexuality, right? This is different. You chop off your privy member, bro, the body gotta be destroyed. There ain't no, let's undo that. I did a whole video on this, man, how they slice that down the middle. They take the thing that basically stimulates the man, and they use that like the women have. I'm trying to make it simple as possible, but it's disgusting, y'all. And they make that filling for that man. I wonder how do you, bro, that's just disgusting. And they create the layers as the womb of a woman. So you get the same filling, but you're dealing with a man. What you think the Lord gonna do with that? You gotta destroy that body, bruh. You gotta go. You could try it again. In the next life. Yeah, I know. Looking at it, when you go online, they show you the procedure. It makes you cuff yourself. It's disgusting. But the Most High said you can't enter into the congregation. Ain't no transvestite gonna come up in here. Now you gotta wait for the Most High to heal you, bro. You're done. Yeah.
Curious. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Have we ever met a trans that's repentant?
I haven't.
Just want to know if it was possible.
Now, you met some that are going through it. Now, let me take this back. You're asking if we met some. I've heard you go online and some people regret because all they got to go through. Like they say that hole closes up and that you got to keep something in that hole. Because it's trying to close. It's foreign. It ain't like the woman. You fake. So they say you got to keep something. Bruh, I do the YouTube channel and so I got to go online and search all that stuff. Look at the videos. So when I did the video on that one, bro, I learned all this weird, it's like, that's why you got, what transgenders, they have dysphoria. They go through all this because, and they go through a lot of regret. And a lot of them, go look at the suicide rate of these transgenders. It's up. Because when they get that, bro, a lot of people don't know how to act. Then you got some that really got heavy demons on them, y'all. And they're like, yep. Crazy. Crazy. So you can see why the Most High is like, you can't enter into the congregation. Right? Alright, go ahead.
Verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High.
Okay, so this was a while back, and for y'all, most of y'all, we went over this. But when you go to that word bastard, it's a mamzar. Right? Now, here's the thing. They give you an improper definition of this. When you look up mamzar, it said bastard. They give you the right and the wrong. Illegitimate child. That's incorrect. Because if that's the case, that means that all of us that are fatherless, or motherless, is an illegitimate child. That's incorrect. A bastard is a child of incest, according to this scripture. You understand? Okay, I just want to clarify this. So, when you look it up in the Strongs, they give you two definitions. Look, a bastard, it says mixed population. First of all, what do you consider mixed? So, if you have an Israelite dad and an Edomite mom, you would be mixed. So, they were running rampant with this stupidity. Oh, you're a mamzar. You're a bastard. That's not what first of all, go back and how were the tribes created? What? Yeah, but the mothers weren't Israelite women. They weren't Israelites. Now you can argue and say, well, they're Hebrews, but they weren't Israelites. Right? They were Hebrew. You can say, well, we don't know because they could have been Hebrews. Okay, I'm good with that. But they weren't Israelites. So you would say, oh, they're bastards. No, that's not what it's saying. We all wouldn't make it in a congregation. This shows you, man, cats don't think about what they say before they start running fire stupidity online. Like, you didn't even think about this, brother, before you started. Yeah, bastards, Mamzar, if your mom. Let's go back. Ruth comes through the line of David, of Yahushua. She was a Moabite. So what? Now Yahushua's a bastard? Or the seed of David's a bastard? They're not thinking. This bastard, this Mamzar, was a child of incest. And as you go down reading, you're going to see that. Right? So I'm just showing you, we always tell y'all what? Not everything in the Strong's is incorrect. It has to correlate with the Bible. Not every definition in these books are correct. They're not wise people. For the most part, you can link precepts together because they're common, right? But that don't make them the teachers of the Bible. Like the guy that wrote the Strong's Concordance, he's now a priest of the Lord. No, they're not going to tell you how to really think according to the commandments and laws and wisdom. Y'all get that? Okay. So that's where y'all bump into that online. Like I said, it was a few years back, and a lot of people ran with this, not knowing that a lot of Hebrew Israelites were mixed. Mixed don't make you a Mamzar. Okay. So the proper thing or proper way to understand this is a child of incest. How do we know? Watch. Read out in the scriptures.
A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And Ammonite.
See? That's how you know what it's talking about. Because how was Ammon brought forth? Through what? Through incest. Through Lot and his daughter sleeping with them. It's telling you right there what it is. It's not talking about your father, your mother is a Hamite, and your dad is an Israelite. Now you're a child of incest. No, that's not what it is. Right? You'll get this, right? This is clear? Okay. Go ahead.
An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Most High forever.
Right, so enter in meaning what? Remember, the nations, when they came around us, and you had them as slaves and servants, what did they have to do? Were they going to worship Buddha and all that? No, you had to follow our laws. So that's what it means by entering the congregation. Like, they got to follow our rules. You were going to submit to the Most High. You weren't going to be my servant and you over here in the corner with a little statue. No. Yeah.
There was someone who broke it down that was saying, because
okay, let me ask you this. Let me start out with you. Is this a question or a comment, sis?
No, it was proven the 10th generation.
No, I'm asking you, is this a question or a comment, sis?
It's a comment.
Okay, what's your comment?
So they was trying to prove that the 10th generation thing was right because wasn't Boaz's wife a Moabite?
What's your point?
That it took 10 generations before she can enter back into it.
That doesn't matter.
Oh.
That doesn't matter.
But do you know what I'm talking about? You never heard
I know what you're talking about. But in order to not confuse, I'm not even going to go into that. I don't care what they were saying. The true understanding is what we're reading. You know what I mean? We don't have to reach to that. You know what I mean? We don't have to reach in that level. We know that David was not a Mamzar. Period. It don't matter. If they're trying to break it down why it was okay, I get what you're saying, but it don't matter. Because you don't need to justify that. I don't need to justify that. because Ruth didn't have no bearing on the lineage of David. It was the man that has the power, and your nationality is determined by the man. So you going out of your way to prove something that ain't even really an argument. You know why it's an argument now? Because they went according to Strong's instead of according to the book of the Lord. That's why it's an argument. You know what I mean? All right, go ahead.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
Because they met you not with bread and with water in the way, when ye came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor.
Right, we read that. Y'all know that story. Right? They were trying to get Balaam to what? Come against us and find a way to destroy us. But you got all these nations that were confederate to do that. Go ahead.
And because they hired against thee Balaam.
Now, let me go back real quick. But sis, do you understand why I was saying that's not important? Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not important because the whole logic of your, I'm not even going to say doctrine, I'm going to say lack of understanding was based off a definition. And the definition was wrong according to the Bible. Right? You see that a lot through the Bible. Like, the definitions won't correlate with what the word is saying. Well, then it's not the true definition. Right? We got to stick to what the word says. That is going to define. And if it's with that, then we agree. Right? All right, go ahead.
And because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Peor, of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee.
That's it? All right, next brother.
Montazar, show the show, Yehuda, by Yashal.
Montazara, Shabbat Yehuda, by Yashala, imagine. Right.
Yehuda, Shimel, Shabrak, Ketoma.
Yehuda, Shemel, Shabrak,
All right. You're number 3? No. 23 and 5 down to 22. 23 verse 5. Right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 5. Nevertheless, the Lord thy God would not hear and hearken unto Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity all thy days forever. Thou shalt not harbor an Edomite.
No, it's abhor. Abhor. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
No.
Go ahead.
For he is thy brother.
Right? I know. It's like the reality kicks in, right? He is your evil twin. And the scripture tells us not to what? Abhor or hate him. Why? Because that's not for you to be motivated. Our hate, that's why the Most High tells us, hate not thy brother in thy heart. Because what is going to happen when you hate him? What happens when we're motivated by hate? Yeah, go ahead.
We start to become envious of that person.
Envious? Why do you use the word envy?
Well, you said, what happens when you hate someone, right?
Yeah, but why would it be envy though? Because I don't envy them. I want to slay them.
Okay,
envy, to desire to be like them or lust after what they are. Now that would be proper. It would be when we're motivated by hate, you want to thrash them, right? you want to, when you read your history and you read all the lies and you see what they do and shoot us out in the street, that anger can get built up in you to where when you see it, you just want to walk up to them and knock them the hell out. Like, that's not what the Most High wants us to do. First of all, he said, vengeance is mine, right? 2, he tells us what? Not to hate thy brother. And then in the law. So I heard brothers before like, oh, that doesn't mean Edomite. God hates Esau, but there's a lot of things he does and says you don't supposed to do. Right? He said for you not to be jealous, and he says I'm a what? Jealous God. Right? So the hate that we're motivated by is not God's hate. We want to what? See everybody light-skinned and already automatically assume they're what? They're Edomite. That in itself will get you to hurt somebody if you motivated by anger and hate and not even think, damn, wait a minute, this might be an Israelite. So the Most High said, don't hate him. Yeah, La Shapara, get the mic, sis. Get the mic, give her. So I keep doing that. But when I'm over there and I'm watching, I'm like, damn, I be trying to hear y'all. So I know how people be. Go ahead.
I was going to say that that could drive you to do wickedness.
Right? It could drive you to do wickedness.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, who else behind you? Somebody had their hand behind you? Okay, give it to Shireen.
That scripture that say, don't hate the flesh, but hate the principality.
What do you?
I don't remember the scripture, but
Oh,
it says,
okay, hold on, sis. Are you trying to add a scripture to it?
yes, but I don't remember.
Okay. All right. Which one? What do you think it says?
It says like, don't hate thy brother, because there's like principalities working in them. Like,
No. You're mixing two things together.
Oh.
You're mixing a few things together. Well, what's that, Doc?
Oh.
Just say it loud so they can hear you out loud.
So I had a question in verse 6, that's why I said that. But basically what this point is stating that we shouldn't be driven to do hate is because we have to remember that our righteousness is as filthy rags.
Right?
Right. And so.
But what's your point of this? Expound.
So basically, we can't be driven to just to hate, an overabundance of hate. Hating an Edomite just because they're an Edomite. We have to understand that we're not all the way right and perfect in our spirit. So just in this point. Hold on. First, let me ask a question in verse 6. Because I do got a question in verse 6.
Okay, hold on, bro. Hold on.
My bad.
You're making a statement and you got a question. You got to get that first.
Because I need a question in verse 6 so I can understand.
Okay, read 6 then.
Verse 6, it says, thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity all thy days forever after. So, first question, is it jumping to the next point in verse 7?
Where are you at? 23 inches. 6. Right, this is talking about Moab right here.
Okay.
Verse 1 on down, remember? It's talking about Moab.
Okay, so
and then that incest, right? 6, now 7 is jumping to another point.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's my question.
I mean, you know that because it's above it.
Right.
Right? In the context of what we're reading, yeah. What's that, question? Okay, give him the mic. What's your comment? Listen, when y'all speak, if y'all gonna make comments, think about what you're saying, right? And before you say it. Go ahead, Ak.
So it's just like Cain and Abel, the hate.
It's just like Cain and Abel, right?
Yeah, so that's what I just got called.
Okay, so it's just like Cain and Abel. Gotcha. is just like Cain and Abel. Exactly. Right? That the Most High is keeping us from that spirit of hatred. Because what will we do with the spirit of hatred?
We would do the same exact thing that they did to us.
There you go. I don't know about y'all, but I know me. When I let that spirit, you go through those YouTubes, you see them pulling out the car. They just killed this Ephraimite brother in New York. He walked up, shot through the damn window. Talking about he had a gun. They lied on the police report that, oh, he put the knife on them and all this stuff, and they got it on camera. He walks right up to the car, through the glass, boom, 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 boom. You see, that makes me want to suit up. See, but when you're motivated by hatred, it won't be talk. It'll literally be, listen, let's kill cops. Right? But we know we can't do that. The scriptures say, vengeance is mine. We know there's a lot of corrupt cops. There's a lot of corrupt people in this system. Right? Go to Ecclesiastes. Yeah, 10 and 18. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18.
Ecclesiastes, hold on 1 second. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18, go ahead.
Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
You see that? See that furious anger? That's how we get motivated. So when we get into that, thou shalt not hate that bro, you start to flare up. Bro, we ain't like the Most High. You know, like I just said about the cop thing. Think about it. You start doing that, and there might be an innocent one. But you sniping everybody. That's why the Most High said, don't let that spirit be in you. Then, let's go back to another point. You look at people from the outward appearance and already assume they're Hebrew Israelite or Edomite. You do it naturally. I catch myself. We'd be at the street speaking to one guy. He was like, my family's black Irish. I'm like, I stopped in my tracks. I was like, you want to say, nah, bruh. But who the hell am I, right? I don't know what that person is. I don't know their family background. But that's why we got to be careful, because the scripture says, judge not by outward appearance. So based on that alone, if you were just in this hate for Esau, you think somebody with blonde hair and blue eyes is an Edomite, and you didn't know that. Yeah, their mama's Esau, her mama's Esau, and they took all the features, right, of their mama, but this is a black man or a Hispanic man, a native. This is a Hebrew Israelite. And you over here ready to wreak vengeance on this individual. So the Most High said, listen, don't get caught up into that spirit of hate. Y'all get that? What did it say? Read that again.
Pride was not made for them, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
Go from there. Go to 1 Thessalonians what? 5 and 9. Go to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 9. Go ahead.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 9.
Go ahead.
For God hath not appointed us to wrath.
The Most High hath not appointed us to wrath. He had not appointed his wrath on us, nor did he appoint us to reap the wrath or sin division. Not yet, y'all. Not yet. Remember, he said, I will send for many fishers, and they shall fish them. It's fishing time. Then he came back and said, I will send for many hunters. It's not hunting season yet. It will be. What'd you say?
Oh, I was thinking about Bugs Bunny.
Time is hunting season, right? With hunting wabbits. Yeah.
I found the scripture that I was looking for.
Okay.
It's Ephesians 6 and 12.
Okay. So what's your question on that?
No, it was going with what you was asking earlier about the hate. The question you had asked earlier.
Okay, let's go there. Ephesians what?
6 and 12.
Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So you wanted to add that scripture, why? What was your point?
It goes with why you don't want to hate. You asked like why don't you want to hate your brother? It was
Yeah. Why should we hate? Right. So you're saying we wrestle not against flesh and blood. But now, you know why at this instances this doesn't apply? Because we literally are looking at flesh and blood and we're hating the white man. So that's a spiritual principle, which is correct. But when it pertains to Esau, we look at them in physical appearance, and that's why we hate them. Right? Now, our mind don't go to that spiritual place first. Especially the ones that are not spiritual. Because that's what we should be thinking. We should be thinking, you know what I mean? It's spiritual wickedness. But we're looking at what they've done. So we're looking at them. So why is it important not to abhor them? Is because when we move in that spirit of hatred, right, we're going to, first of all, misjudge, right, who is an Israelite. That happens already. And then, most of all, our anger and our wrath is not the wrath of the Father. Right? We move through emotions. So, the Most High tells us why not to bear the spirit of hatred. That don't mean that they're not going to get what's coming to them. That don't mean that you don't supposed to dislike what they've done. But moving in the spirit of hatred is a whole nother thing. You want to do some harm and hurt to somebody. Right? Well, God hates them. Right? And He hates them for a higher reason than you. He don't hate them because they light skin. See, that's what we do. Right? Automatically, why you hate the white man? First of all, he's pale as hell. That's why I hate him. That's wrong. Like, we got a lot of our people that are light skinned. So that don't make no damn sense. You see that? We're supposed to hate them because they hate the Most High, or dislike them because the Most High. But that doesn't come. So the Most High do this. He said, look, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. Don't worry about that. You do what you do. I got them. Right? Read on. Read on.
Thou shalt not harbor any
abhor. Abhor.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land.
Right. Even that. You go through resentment and you want to what? Then y'all had us in captivity. These Hamites. You know what I mean? There's a thing with Judah and Ham. We don't, Israel and Ham. I don't like Ham. But if you move in that spirit of hate, same thing. Right? Like when Polite got 20 years, I was like, God, that's for mocking the Most High. Yeah. He got 20 years. No, 7 years probation. No, he got 20 years, bro. Yeah. I'm like, God, Most High keep vengeance on these cats that are mocking. Unless I was so wrong, but that's what I heard. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Go ahead.
The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord.
The children that are begotten of them shall enter. Okay, go ahead.
Into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation.
Yeah, what's that?
Are you saying Tylenol or Tylenol?
Tylenol, yeah. That ain't added. Go ahead.
When the host goeth forth against thine enemies, then keep thee from every wicked thing. If there be amongst you any man that he is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chanteth him by night, then shall he go abroad, out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp.
We know that's sexual relations. He cannot, he had to be clean. Go ahead.
But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water. And when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again.
And that's any uncleanness. That's the point of, it's like now. When you got a cold, you got to stay away. Why? Because it runs through the camp rampantly. Brother, you got somebody and they get sick, and this person gets sick, and then everybody's sick. So you can even see that on a low level when we deal with colds and COVID, right? You see why the Most High was like, nah, you stay away from the camp. Go ahead.
Verse 12, thou shalt have a place as also without the camp, whether thou shalt go forth abroad.
All right.
And thou shalt have a kettle upon thine weapon. And it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back and cover that which cometh from thee.
Right, y'all know that. You were boo-booing out in the woods, and then you covered it up. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shalt thou camp be holy.
That makes more sense than boo-booing in your water. Then you got to filter your water. What's that, sis?
Verse 8, it just kind of throws me off a little bit. Like it's saying that their children
can enter. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in the third generation. So the wrath that the Most High had against Esau and the Egyptians, remember, we had a lot of them as servants, right? So when they would come around, or strangers, these people would have to submit to what we're doing. It's telling us the stipulation is the third and fourth generation. That's what it's saying. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was an end. Go ahead.
That he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. Verse 16. He shall deliver, he shall dwell with thee, even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him. There shall no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
There should be no whore of the daughters of Israel. That's a law. Period. See, the Most High wasn't dealing with whoredom. You bouncing from man to man. Most High wasn't dealing with that. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Period. We know Leviticus 20 said they were put to death. 20 and 13. Go ahead.
God. Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Good. You got it.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore.
Right. The hire of a whore. So you got man whores and woman whores. So you weren't going to bring that hire. Like have your ribs stripped for the truth. Right? You weren't supposed to do that. Go ahead. Go on.
Or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God.
A dog was a female, male whore. A dog was a male whore. So, you know how they now say they still use that. Horse, and you a dog. It means the same thing. You're a male whore. Go ahead. What's that?
Is this talking about a prostitute? Is it talking about a prostitute? Because like in the beginning of the verse it said for hire. So.
Yeah. that's talking about prostitute. Prostitute, but I threw in there also a stripper. Like you're still prostituting. You're a woman. A lot of these cats are cool with that. Have they ripped women as strippers, right? And then you take that and drop bombs on the church. It's madness, man. Go ahead.
For any vow, for even both, these are abominations.
I'm gonna pay it with the drug money and with the stripper money.
Are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother.
If your brother borrows 100, you get 100 back. Right? You don't, when you borrowed 100, I need 150. We don't do that to each other. Go ahead.
Usury of money, usury of villains.
Victuals. So I gave you 2 turkeys in a dove. I want 4 turkeys. Right? Nah. You give them what you got back. Go ahead.
Usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
Yeah, you're not supposed to charge your brother usury. We don't do that. You know what I mean? You borrow something, just give that back, right? Go ahead.
Verse 20. Upon a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury.
That's why the so-called Jews do it to you. They take your laws and use them against you. Right? Go ahead.
But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou sittest thine hand to end. That thou settest thy hand to end the land whither thou goest to possess it. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay.
And we talked about that the other day. Watch what you say. The perfect example is when Ithamar? No, what was it? Jether made a vow to the Most High. First thing that I see, Yahweh, is yours. And his daughter came out. You don't have to pay that for speaking like a fool. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be sin in thee. But if thou shalt forbear a vow, it shall be no sin in thee. That which is gone
You see
out.
that? Don't agree to it. You know what? I gotta check my finances before I make that vow. Oh, you know what? Before I make that agreement, right? Hey, is everybody gonna put in for this the cabin? Yeah. Con. You say con. We looking at you. You say con. Now you gotta disappear because you don't want to? Like, don't do that. Right? We did that. One year we did Hanukkah. When we do the gifts, Hanukkah, right? I mean, Purim. And I asked him, I said, you sure? You don't have to? We're just trying to get you involved. Disappeared. Hey, bro, you could have just said, I don't want to do that. Our people haven't been taught standard, character. They haven't been taught love, honor. They're not taught honor no more, man. They say things and don't give a damn. Oh yeah, I got y'all. I'm gonna be there with his class. You said what? Yeah, you're doing all that damn shenanigans and you ain't gonna show up. Like, won't you just, you know what? I'm gonna check it. But it's an act. A lot of our people are actors, man. We can't be like that. And the Most High is not playing with that. Go ahead. That's it? All right, next brother. Excuse me. You gotta give him a proper one. Sorry, be Lord. Go ahead.
Delvan Sabbath Yahweh Ban Yashala.
Delvan Sabbath Yahweh Ban Yashala. Imagine. Right.
Yahweh Shem Yah Shabrakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yah Shabrakatham. All right. You're reading 23 down to 24 and 14. You have to look at Sabbath class as if you are trying to be a lawyer. Right? All these questions and all these things, you're going to have to go back. But if you come in like, man, it's free, you got to act like you're studying for your law degree. So that way, when you're asked a question, you'll be able to answer. Right? So, look, is this a waste of time? Okay then, don't waste your time. Don't sit here and just go through the motions. Really try to understand and learn so you can be able to answer your brothers and sisters out there in the world. All right, you're at 23 and 24. Oh no, 23 and 23, my bad.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 23. That which is going out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
You understand that? What you say, do it. Right? Please. If you said you were going to do that, do it. Stick to it. I got to get back to you on that. That's fine. But don't say things and then not do them. Right? Because that's your name. Don't get mad when the person that says things don't stick to it. Then we're like, nah, don't have her do it. Why? Because she says things and she don't do it. Like now you're like, well, why am I that person? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me why you're that person. Stick to your word. Let your word be your bond. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
Even a free will offering.
Even a free will. Even if it ain't like something that has to be done, and you're saying it and you're whispering in your head, like, you know what? I'm going to do this. It's crazy, ain't it? The Most High's like, look, I heard you say that in your head. Why are you not doing it? You said you was going to do it. You got to watch what you say, right? Because you're going to be held to that. Go ahead.
According as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
Yeah, read.
When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes, thy fill at thine own pleasure. But thou shalt not put any in thy vessel.
Right, so we have the field set up to where, you come through our nation, come through and you eat grapes, but you weren't just going to grab a basket and take everything. Those ain't your grapes. Take a few handful, man. Be on your way, right? We're thinking about you. You think about us, right? Right. Go ahead.
When thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor,
right?
When thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle until the neighbor's standing corn.
That's Jake, right? You come over there with the sickle and start cutting. You go to the neighbor's yard, take down a basket of apples. It's like, take an apple and be on your way, right? Okay, go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1. When a man hath taken a wife and married her,
right?
And it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes.
Right, so once again, we've been over this recently. Right, she find no favor, there's something wrong, right? She was slim, thick, when you got with her, now she's just thick. Or she was thick and now she what? You lost all that weight, look at you. Right? Now you're like, man, see, I don't know, I'm rethinking this situation. Like, no you're not. No you're not, bro. You know what I mean? Go get her some chicken and grits and stuff her back up, right? Or, like, it don't work like that. You can't, for any reason, just divorce your wife. And that's what this is about. Go ahead.
Because he has found some uncleanness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Right.
And give it in her hand.
Right.
And send and send her out of his house.
And I went over this, I think, extensively the other day. I don't gotta go over all that again, right? We went into showing that it was adultery, it was fornication. What was it, the angles? Was it the slim? You're losing a lot of weight. Let's stuff you back up. Oh, man. But, I mean, you gotta have that unity. No, I don't want to be thick no more. But that's when I met you, I wanted you thick. Right? You're going to be thick, right? I don't have to go through the divorcing. I don't have to go through the divorcing because we know it's a woman that is fornicating. Like, it was supposed to be a woman that is fornicating. Then we went into the levels of fornication. All right? Go ahead. If y'all missed that class, man, I'm sorry. That was a few days ago. We went into this in its entirety. All right? Go ahead.
And when she is departed out of his house,
yeah,
she may go and be another man's wife.
Right?
And if the latter husband...
So once again, divorce is in the Bible. Christ comes and tells us from the beginning it wasn't so, for the hardness of your heart. So my statement and my question to verify that with everybody in here is saying, are we at this point to where there's no stubbornness and no hardness of your heart? Nah, we still got a lot of stubborn, stiff-necked people that don't want to work through things, that don't want to forgive and don't want to let go. So, yeah, the law is here still to show us what? Okay, well, what happens when they just don't want to work it out? Okay, I do it the way the word says. You can't force them and be like, no, y'all gonna stay together. You know what happens when you do that? Hatred, resentment. You know what I mean? Now I gotta find a dish to dump her in. You like the white man. And let's go to the park, babe. Two of you go, one of you come back. It don't supposed to be like that. The law is here. Right, yeah.
And that goes both ways, right? For the male too, if it's fornication or something on his part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the man can't be running around just hitting everything in sight. That's fornication. He was supposed to take on, if he's considering taking on another woman, then it would be the proper way. It wouldn't be him just like, oh, I hit her, you know, she was out of order, and then I hit this one, oh, she's wicked. Bro, no, you're fornicating. Yeah.
So if you're married to a man and he's fornicating with a bunch of other women and he's not committed to nobody, you can leave him?
Except for divorce. This law don't only stick to the women. This law is for the man as well. Does the Most High honor a fornicator? Does the Most High honor an adulterer? Okay, so if he's out there in the streets, listen, he's going to bring that back to you. He's going to bring that back to you. So he can't be doing that. You got to go through the steps too to be like, hold on a second. You've been sleeping around, right? You could be bringing whatever you get from these women out there back to me, right? The Most High's not with that. Y'all know that, right? That the Most High, just because you're a man, that don't give you the right to fornicate. Okay, so yeah, it's unlawful for a man to fornicate and commit adultery as well, right? Go ahead.
And if the latter husband hate her,
right,
and write her a bill of divorcement, and giveth it in her hand.
See, this is what Christ was talking about, stopping them. This is why our spirit got to be right. We got to go through the steps of vetting a woman, vetting a man, before you lay down with him, so you won't be passed around. The point is to not make whores of the daughter of Zion. But when you got our people in this spirit of, well, it says give her a divorce, like, you don't even honor marriage, bro. You're using and abusing the law. That's why Christ came and said, listen, it from the beginning wasn't so, and the reason that's written because the hardness of your heart. But you don't think the Most High knows you playing games? You jumping from man to man, and you jumping from woman to woman? The Most High knows what you're doing. He's going to judge you in the end for that. Fornication, adultery. Go ahead.
And sendeth her out of his house. Or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife.
Right.
Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife.
So she go and lay with other men. No, I'm not taking her back. That's according to the law. Y'all see that? She has to move on. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, does that, so if she doesn't become married with another man or lay down with another man, like,
He can take her back. He can take her back, yeah. Yeah. Remember, let's be real. Now let's go into the Christ mind. I'm sticking to the technical law, but could you forgive? What is the Most High saying? You can't forgive your wife? The Most High saying you can't forgive your husband? It can be forgiven, but that's on that individual's choice. Right? See, that's the middle, that's the law. Like we're reading the law and we're seeing, okay, this is what the law says. But then Yahushua brings in the spirituality, right? It might be she might have demons on her. That might not be in her heart. He might have demons on him. He might be, well, this is what I thought it was, and this is what happened. Do we pull the brother up and be like, bro, you're a fornicator? No, we be like, okay, what happened, huh? Right? So there's things to know that, oh, did she really mean to do this? Or did she have spirits, demons? So that's how you would judge. We all judge like that. If it's not a relationship and you're doing and making those mistakes, we're going to say, okay, well, why are you out there, brother? Why are you out there dealing with women and meeting up with these women? That's your first mistake. Right? So there's a spirit behind, I made a mistake, I got weak, and nah, I'm in these streets. Right? Nobody's naive to that. So we know that the Bible speaks of forgive thy brother 70 times 7. So that's where you're seeing why Christ, in this law, he had to came to give us what? Edification. Like for the beginning it was not so, but this is here for the hardness of your heart. So we got to understand that a lot of these situations, it's going to be applied. You might forgive a brother. You know what? I love you, but if you're going to take on a woman, you can't be sleeping around because that's going to come back on me. Same thing with the women. I love you. I know that you made a mistake. Are you ready to come and repent? Right? Now, somebody argue this point to me and say, nah, bro, he can't take his wife back. Christ is about forgiveness. That's what my point will be. Yahushua is about forgiveness. It's up to that individual. Is Christ going to say, nah, that's against the law because you forgive your brother? No. It says, if they repent, you can forgive them. You know if she's for the streets or not. Right? So that, we got to look at the spirituality of the law and also the written law. And that judgment is in there. So, or else you won't forgive nobody. Somebody make a mistake. Nah, I call her on the phone, texting her ex. That's due for what? She's fornicating. You can right there what? I'm done with you. No, yeah, I'm showing y'all the dynamics of this so y'all can understand as lawyers, as lawgivers, to know what? Okay, so what's the case then? What is the case? Divorce her or forgive her? Well, what the law say? Well, the law says, Christ came back and said what? Unless it be for fornication. Well, she's doing this. She now on the phone with these guys, texting him. I read in the text. Can't wait to see you. Premeditation. Right? But you see what I'm saying? But how about she repent and be like, you know what, no, I love you. Let me ask y'all, none of y'all never been in these situations? Oh, then when you caught them on the text, what you do? How many of y'all just cut them off right then and there? Raise your hand. You never been in that situation, right? Okay, so you say did you cut her off right then and there? Oh, there was a what? Forgiveness. There was a forgiveness. Like, look, I love you. What is the problem? Let's work through this, because you're trying to do what Christ said on the other hand. But he said two things. That the marriage should be annulled, but at the same time as she fornicate, do what? You have the right to cut her off. Right. Is that saying you can't forgive her? Nah, you'd be like, you know what? Why'd you do it? What's on your mind? Are you looking to divorce? Are you trying not to be with me? Because that's what it sounds like in this text. And you might say, you know what? I'm going to forgive you, but you got to come back 10 times harder and show me that I mean something. She might do that. Or she might be all willy-nilly with it and be like, you know. And then you might be able to see that, oh, your spirit was leading me anyway. That's why you were in the text. So that judgment is given to us in the spirit of the Most High, whether to forgive and work with this individual and try to grow in this marriage, because there's a lot of mistakes made in marriages. And if you were going to cut them off for anything, bro, it would be like America today. They cut them off. Marriage is not like mistakes, or, you know, we joke about the body and stuff like that. People do stupid stuff like that. But there's situations that where it's like they just cut them off with no even, let's work through this. Right? Let's fix this. If we do things like that, there will be no marriages, because there's so many mistakes with no wisdom, no understanding, right? A lot of them, well, we were friends, we've been friends in the past, and I feel like I didn't have to cut him off, but he's texting you these things now. You see why the Most High said don't do that? And she might not be on it. She might be slow. So there's different reasons, but I know this. The law, the wisdom of the scripture gives us the power in this situation to either cut this individual off or to have mercy. Right? He that is without sin cast the first stone. Right? There you go. Right? And then I think the dynamic of the situation. Is she trying to be for the streets? Is she trying to be a hoe? Is he trying to be a hoe? Right? That's the questions that need to be answered. Go ahead, read on.
After that she is defiled.
Right?
For that is abomination before the Lord.
Right. So, like, look what's going on with this woman. She's being passed around. That's what the spirit, in the spirit, we were trying to avoid. Why does why does law have to be there? Because a lot of people don't even know how to deal with it when it does happen. So now the law got to be written. The technicalities of it. Well, what about when this happened? And this happened. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And thou shalt not cause the land to sin.
Right.
Which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
Go ahead.
When a man have taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war. Mm-hmm. Neither shall he be charged with any business. Mm-hmm. But he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he hath taken. Okay, brothers, you're not going to war. So don't come with that, bro. He's been my rib 1 year, huh? Y'all laughing now. We can't say that. Like, bro, this says when you go to war. You ain't going to war and your life ain't on the line, and you can die in battle and never see your wife again. That's what this is about. You know, bro, I'm supposed to get a year off. The scripture says this is not your rest, brother. Right? All right, so let's chalk that one off your I'm going to hit the brothers with this, huh? It's got to be a honeymoon, a year.
It's a spiritual one. We give her away first.
You had to be on honeymoon for a year. How shy show up, you regret. Go ahead.
No man shall take the nether or the upper millstone to pledge. For he taketh a man's life to pledge. If a man be found stealing,
Right. What is the millstone? What is a millstone? Yeah.
I think it's when you grind up grain.
Right. So you're taking that to pledge. You're taking somebody's livelihood, and you're gonna pledge that, right? It's like these companies, man. They what? They have your 401k online. Like, how the hell did my 401k get caught up in what you're doing? Oh, they put all that up there. Right? You find out what the banks do with your money, right? And then it's like, oh, you can't get your money. Why? Oh, they put that on the stock market. It's like, we lost everything? Yep. But the feds come in and what? Pay you, right? Y'all seen that happen recently, right? You can't take somebody's work, living, and put it up for pledge. Esau's corrupt as hell, man. Go ahead.
If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of them, or selleth them, then that thief shall be, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put evil away from among you.
What verse was that?
Verse 7.
Verse 7 of 24 and 7, right? Right. If he found stealing any of his brethren of the children. Right. Okay, go ahead. Right. Y'all get that, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that thou observe diligently, and do according to all that the priests, the Levites, shall teach you. As I commanded them, so you shall observe to do.
Right. Y'all all know here, you skillful Israelites should already know that leprosy is different stages and levels of leprosy, a skin disorder, all the way to the clean leopard, which is the so-called white man. But then you got different forms of leprosy that will come on your skin. So the scriptures tell you, you got to look at it. I mean, none of us know nowadays how to treat it. We're so far gone, but none of us is growing up to be those herbologists and really know how to do these things. But back in the ancient days, it was the Levites. They would come, they would pray, they would give you the proper herbs, and you would take those herbs for this leprosy. And a lot of times you would put out the camp, depending on what type of leprosy is it. Is it pus? Is it skin disorder? Can somebody else get this? Is this contagious? Right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. Remember what the Lord thy God did unto Miriam.
Right.
After that ye were come forth out of Egypt. When thou dost lend thy brother anything, thou shalt not go into his house to fetch his pledge. Thou shalt stand abroad, and the man to whom thou dost lend shall bring out the pledge abroad unto thee.
You're at number 4 or 5? You're 4. Oh, so you're reading to 14?
Yes.
So that pledge, remember, you bought something, right? He bought $1,000. He said he was going to pay it back on Friday. You would cross the street in the car. It's Friday, bro. I'm outside. Right? That's what you said, right, Friday? I'm here. You got the tool in your lap. Nah, man. That's why people be killing each other. You know what I mean? You said $50 by Saturday. It's been 3 years. Right? Bro, let that money go. It says, lose thy money for thy brother. You know what I mean? Obviously, if he was going to give it back, he would have gave it back. Now you know what type of cat he is. Don't lend to this guy. You know what I mean? Because he don't do what he says. His word is not his bond. Right? All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. And if the man be poor, thou shalt not sleep with his pledge.
Yeah, you know that he needs that, and you what? You making him sweat for it. You're making him wait for it. No, give him what is due to him. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
In any case, thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his own raiment.
All right. You see, they're using the example of raiment. Like, I lent you my jacket. You know I need this jacket, right? Give it back, right? These clothing, whatever it is. Go ahead.
And bless thee, and it shall be righteousness unto thee before the Lord thy God.
Right.
Verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy.
Right.
Whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates.
There you go. See, so we weren't supposed to oppress them. You know that without, mocking them, laughing at them, and what I just clicked on World Star yesterday, and T.I.'s son was making a homeless man eat the hot chips for like $50, and the comments is like, damn. But that's what they teach these little gremlins to do. You going out laughing at the homeless and mocking them. Most I said, don't do that. If you're gonna give somebody money, homeless, give them the money. They ain't got a what? Street fight. Punch him in the face and I'll give you $100. It's sad, brother. Like, wait, look, we literally got laws for everything. You know what I mean? And these are like moral laws. Yeah. Like, why would you treat your brother like that? You see? Why you need moral laws? For ninjas. They what? They don't know how to deal with their brother. They don't know how to treat their people no more. All right, next brother. All right. You're going 25 and 9? 15 verses, 25 and 9.
Deuteronomy 24 verse 15. At his day thou shalt give him his hire.
Right.
Neither shall the sun go down upon him, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Most High.
That's how we paid back in the days. It would be that daily pay. You know what I mean? He leaves, you give him that pay. Go ahead.
And it be sin unto thee. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Yeah. Well, your son did this. Well, the son got to be judged for that. Right? Your daughter got to be judged for that. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless.
Right?
Nor take a widow's raiment to pledge.
We just went over that about judgment. And it says you shouldn't pervert, meaning what? Be swayed, be bought, swayed to do anything outside of the wisdom of the Most High. It says, nor a widow's raiment to pledge. Once again, you got a widow, a mom, a mother with no husband, and you what? Nah, you gotta give me this. Right? Nah, you're not supposed to do that. Go ahead.
But thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in Egypt.
Right? You're gonna remember you were a slave. Go ahead.
And the Most High thy power redeemed thee thence. Therefore I command thee to do this thing. When thou cuttest down thy harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, Salah, it has forgot a sheep in the field. Thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger.
Right. Remember, we just read about the grapes and everything? Well, it's both parts. The Most High is taking care of everybody. He's telling you to leave it out there for the stranger, and he's telling the stranger, when you go through, don't be greedy and take everything. Right? It was all about brotherhood. It was all about thinking about the nation, like y'all were going over earlier. Go ahead.
For the fatherless. And for the widow. And the Most High power may bless thee in all the work of thine hand. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. When thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterwards. It shall be for the stranger,
right,
for the fatherless, and for the widow. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt. Therefore I command thee to do this thing.
I said it before. We come to the truth. We start shining. Skin start glistening. You get a job. You get a car. And then what? You forget about, oh, wait a minute. What about my people? What about Israel in the ghettos and the slums? Right? You start acting more high and mighty and not realizing, no, bro, we still got a nation to look out for. But he went into that extensively earlier about being greedy and selfish. Right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 25 verse 1. If there be a controversy between men,
right,
and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them,
right,
then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked.
Right. Once again, not taking the pledge, not being bought, not swaying, not preferring persons. Right. Go ahead.
And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten,
right,
that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face.
Yeah, like when you go over there to Singapore, you act stupid. You get like they straight bring you out and whoop you. You know what I mean? That's how the ancient days were. Like, you acting a fool, okay, bring him out. Remember the Judite girl?
Yeah.
Recently, she did the same thing. She was talking loud over there or whatever. Yeah, they arrested her. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You gonna act right when you come out here. Go ahead.
According to his fault, by a certain number.
Right.
40 stripes he may give him.
Right. Check that out. Man, that'll put the whole nation in order, right? That's why you don't go to these other countries and act a fool, because they have a standard. You come over here, in America got a standard too. They let you act a fool. You know what I mean? That's their standard. And then they just shoot you down in the streets. There ain't no whip. I'll shoot you in the head, take your life. As simple as that. So who's really more severe? Oh, they're inhumane over there. Bro, what you want? You want to get shot down or get whipped? I'll take a whip across the back quick. There's some hot ones. Go ahead.
And not exceed.
Right.
Least if he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn. Right? It goes back to, and we know Paul brought that out pertaining to the priests in 1 Corinthians 9. But how you could muzzle the ox, that's inhumane. Right? He needs to eat, but you gonna what? No, you're gonna work to death. Right? The Most High said, don't do that. Go ahead.
If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
So this is a custom that we had back in the days to bring forth seed to the father. So if the brother died and he had no children, that's what this is talking about. Go ahead.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her.
Go ahead.
And take her to him to wife.
Right. You were supposed to take your brother's wife and bear children in his name. Go ahead.
And perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her.
I know you're like, whoa, that's weird. No, it's not. What it's saying is that you're being honorable and bringing in seed to your brother. Otherwise, he died, no kids,
no lineage, no seed. Right? So this was about still having your brother's seed go forward. Go ahead.
And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead.
There you go. Go ahead.
That his name be not put out of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him, and speak unto him. If he stand to it, and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house.
What is it about? You're not being your brother's keeper. You're not caring about your brother. What's your question?
Well, I mean, what if she only had a daughter?
It had to be a man child to bring seed, the firstborn. Yeah.
That's why Onan died, right?
That's why Onan died, right? Because he had sex with her, and instead of he pulled out instead of still bringing forth the seed. So the Most High killed him. Yeah.
So what if he was an only child? Like, so because I'm saying, so what if the husband who died is an only child? Doesn't have no brothers?
Well then, that's a good question. Let me see if there's anything in here on that before I speak on that. Yeah. If there's any situation, I got to go through my, that ain't just popping in my mental database right now. You know what I mean? Let me look and see. Just remind me of that one. Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking like, why did they bring his wife to spit in his face and like take his shoe off?
Because he's dishonorable.
Question, could that go towards, say if it's three brothers, right? How many brothers?
It's going to go there and answer what you're asking.
That
It's going to answer.
died.
It's going to answer. It literally, what you're asking is going to answer as we read that. Yeah, I know where you're going. He's going to watch. Read on. Oh, that was it for you? Okay, go ahead, finish it.
Deuteronomy 25 and verse 10. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loose.
Right.
When men strive together, one with another, and the wife of the one draw near for to deliver.
Okay. So the answer, you remember when Ruth, right? The same situation happened with Ruth. So he went to the next kindred. Right? It was like, hey, your job is to bring forth children in this man's name, and this is his wife. He died. Do you want to do that? The first brother passed on it, right? And then he came, Onan, right? And took, Onan, right? Oh, Boaz, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got, Boaz, the what? Boaz came and took on that duty. So, yes. I thought it was here, though, but yeah. Yeah, your next kindred would do what? Take on that duty. To bring in, because this is a big thing. That means that kid that you have is not your kid. It's in the name of your brother. So a lot of cats are like, nah, I'm going to pass on that. Right? Oh, okay, you pass on that. You know what I mean? You're going to go through this, but we're going to go ahead and bring your kindred next, and he's going to fulfill that. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Wasn't Boaz his uncle? The husband's uncle? Or
Yeah, he was, I think he was the next of kin, yeah. But next of kin still. You know, like somebody's got to do this in the name of this brother. So the next of kin would step up and do that, yeah.
Could he marry her if he wanted to?
Well, that's exactly what he's doing.
Oh.
That's exactly what he has to do. It wasn't just he hits it and leaves her. No, you would take on this woman to be your wife, and that child, that firstborn, will go in your brother's name. Right? That's a big thing because your firstborn Y'all read it earlier, is your strength. Right? And a lot of cats are like, well, I want my firstborn to be in my name. Right? Or this, I don't have one yet. You know, why would I do this? So you have that dynamic, and somebody would have to step up to that. Yeah. Like hold on real quick. Most of it was all about brotherhood, wasn't it? Like when you think about that, that's like I know now that's not our custom in this society. But you got to think about how the Most High was still. It was all about brotherhood when you go through the law. It was all about looking out for each other. We don't got that no more in this society. Man, Esau, the so-called white man, stripped us of brotherly love. Right? And it's sad. Yeah, who had their hand first? Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, I have...
Get the mic so they can hear you online.
I was going to say I had it in Genesis where the brother had rejected... I can turn up my voice too. I was going to say I had it in Genesis where it talks about what the brother did in verse, what was it, 9, it kind of like shows the mind he was in. So I thought, you know...
You're talking about Onan when he spilled the seed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he didn't honor it. No, look at that. They can write that down. They can write that down. Who else had a question? Go ahead, sister.
So I just wanted to ask if this also applies to when a woman passes away.
No. It don't apply to that because the seed is determined by the man.
Okay.
Right? So the man is going to bring forth it. Remember, you need the man to bring forth this lineage. So it won't apply to that. Yeah. All right. Well, what's up? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna say this is good. It's a good law, in the sense that it protects the women as well.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be by themselves, and also like from the point that she was saying, like, would you just leave them? Well, no, because then we would be creating widows.
There you go.
And fatherless children.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you see how the Most High was using us to be there for our brother. Like a lot of cats don't realize that. They think the truth. Once again, when you first come in, the truth is about you. But as you grow into this, you got to see it's more than you. We're supposed to be coming to the mind state. There's no greater thing than a man that he laid down his life for his brother. So we get it. When you come in, you're like, okay, I got to get me right, which is right. But then all the selfishness is supposed to be shedded off as you move forward and realize, wait a minute, there's a bigger picture here. Then it ain't about my little circle and my little soap opera. It's about more. So how I move, what I'm doing, how I give, how I love, all these things is, everybody has an effect on that. So when you sit back and we're like, well, you know what? I'm not going to really be involved. You're affecting the body. That selfish spirit, there's no, I'll just play low key. Nah, you gotta, what you're given is not just to play low key. You're given this to step up and give to the body. Right? So, yeah, come on, let's finish it.
Deuteronomy chapter 25 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
When men strive together, one with another, and the wife of the one draw near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him.
So you got these two guys fighting, and then the woman jumps in, well, get off my man, you beat him up. Go ahead.
Out of the hand of him that smited him, and put forth her hand, and taken him by the secrets.
Right, so she grabbed his stones. Go ahead.
Then thou shalt cut off her hand.
Give me that hand. You're going to give me that hand, boy. Why? Because lineage, ancestry goes through those stones. You weren't just going to just violate a cat and do that. Right? You know what you're doing. Right? Go ahead.
Thine eye shall not pity her.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights.
Right? That is, the scriptures say, an unjust balance is wickedness. Right?
You got the scale tipping the wrong way. This is what we talk about, what we went over yesterday, of the first thing about the aged woman. It said that they couldn't be false accusers. That means that you have to be a well-balanced individual with the wisdom of the Most High to make the proper judgment, or else it will lean. You don't want it to lean. You want to be balanced. Y'all get this? And I know this is talking about weights of food and things, but when we always talk about balance, there's more than just weights of food. It's weights in judgment and how you deliver things. Go ahead.
A great and a small.
Right.
Thou shalt not have in thine house diverse measures. A great and a small.
Go ahead.
But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight.
There you go. Go ahead.
A perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that thy days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. For all that do so much, for all that do such things, and all that do unrighteously, are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
So that's why the first campaign of Saul was what? Go get Amalek. Go get all Amalek. So that's why his first campaign as king was, you're going to fulfill this. Yeah. It's this.
So this is going back into the question we asked earlier.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, what if the wife only bears daughters to the brother?
He still doesn't have a firstborn.
So
he still doesn't have a man-child that will take on his lineage.
So what happens then?
Same thing. It will apply, same thing.
No, I'm saying like after the husband is dead and the brother takes the wife and she only bears daughters for that brother.
Oh, remember, he's taking on a wife.
Okay.
He's not just taking on just a moment to bear the child, the son. He's taking on a wife.
Okay.
So until that first male comes, he still got to work.
Okay.
Yeah. You still got to work. Okay. Go back in that bedroom because you got 3 daughters that shoot this son.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Read on.
Last precept. Thou shalt not forget it.
That was it? All right. So let's move over to Ecclesiastes 50. Ecclesiastes 50. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 50 verse 1.
Right.
Simon the high priest, the son of...
So we're still finishing up all the famous men. It's giving the account of all these famous men. Go ahead.
The son of Onias, who in his life prepared the house again, and in his days fortified the temple. And by him was built from the foundation the double height, the high fortress of the wall about the temple. In his days, the cistern to receive water, being encompassed as the sea, was covered with plates of brass. He took care of the temple that it should not fall, and fortified the city against besieging. How was he honored in the midst of the people in his coming out of the sanctuary? He was as the morning star in the midst of a cloud, and as the moon at the full, as the sun shining upon the temple of the Most High, and as the rainbow giving light in the bright cloud.
Yeah, because these men took on the mantle, they took on the work, they took it in honor. They didn't just get in position. You got to see that it was all about the nation. America has gotten us to think it's all about us. Me. You can kick, bro. You got to get you, bro.
Yeah. You gotta do you. I gotta do me. See? But every time you look at these men that were famous, what did they do? They thought about the nation. They thought about helping about the body. Go ahead. Oh, Verse 8. As the flowers of roses in the spring of the year, as the lilies of rivers of waters, and the branches of the frankincense tree in the time of summer, as fire and incense and the censer, as a vessel beaten gold, set with all manner of precious stones, and as a fair olive tree building for fruit, and as a cypress tree which groweth up to the clouds, when he put on the robe of honor, and was clothed with the perfection of glory. When he went up to the holy altar, he made the garment of holiness honorable. When he took the portions out of the priest's hands, he himself stood by the hearth of the altar, compassed with his brethren round about, as a young cedar in Lebanon, and as a palm tree compassed they him round about. So were all the sons of Aaron in their glory, and the oblation of the Lord in their hands, before all the congregation of Israel. And finishing the service at the altar, that he might adorn the offering of the Most High Almighty, he stretched out his hand to the cup, and poured of the blood of the grape, and poured out at the foot of the altar a sweet smelling savor unto the Most High King of all. Then shouted the sons of Aaron, and sounded the silver trumpets, and made a great noise to be heard, for a remembrance before the Most High. Then all the people together hasted, and fell down to the earth, their faces to worship the Most High Almighty, to worship the Lord Almighty, the Most High. The singers also sang praises with their voices, with great variety of sounds was there made sweet melody. And the people besought the Lord, the Most High, by prayer before him that is merciful, till the solemnity of the Lord was ended. And they finished their service. Then he went down and lifted up his hands over the whole congregation of the children of Israel, to give the blessings of the Lord with his lips, and to rejoice in his name. And they bowed themselves down to worship the second time, that they might receive a blessing from the Most High. Now therefore, bless ye Yahweh of all, which all doeth wondrous things everywhere, which exalteth our days from the womb, and dealeth with us according to his mercy. He grant us joyfulness of heart, that and that peace may be in our days in Yahshua forever, that we would confirm his mercy with us, and deliver us at his time. There be two manner of nations, which my heart abhorreth, and the third is no nation. They that sit upon the mountains of Samaria, most I wasn't dealing with those Hamites, man. And they that dwell among the Philistines. Right, remember, this was not when Samaria was inhabited by Israel. It shows you when Samaria was inhabited by Ham, Most High wasn't having that. They that dwell and they that dwell among the Philistines, and that foolish people that dwell in Shechem, right? Which were once again Hamites. Jesus, the son of Sirach of Jerusalem, had written in this book the instruction of understanding and knowledge, who out of his heart poured forth wisdom. Blessed is he that shall be exercised in these things. And he that layeth them up in his heart shall become wise. For if he do them, he shall be strong to all things. For the light of the Lord leadeth him. Light, it says, who giveth wisdom to the godly. Blessed be the Lord forever. Amen, amen. Huh? All right. All right, that's 50. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So verse 26, can we use this precept
Absolutely.
to support John 4?
Yeah. I mean, short. I mean, historically, you should already know that. Second Kings 17, right? But this is an additive. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Anything off the subject, on the subject? Yes, sir.
In 26, so is it talking about the Philistines, where it says those that dwell among the Philistines, or?
Whoa, what part? 26?
Yeah.
And they did sit upon the mountain of Samaria. That's the Samaria was inhabited by Ham at that time.
I'm reading down, it says, and they that dwell among the Philistines. So like, was it talking about the Philistines?
Oh no, it's just worded that way. It's saying the Philistines. Okay. Go back to Ham. The Most High didn't mess with them. We was always war at Ham. To the point he was like, when you go in these lands, kill everybody. Right? Don't marry them. Don't deal with them. Ham was dirty. It was dirty. All right. Which question?
Yeah. I meant to ask you this, but I kept forgetting. But I was trying to figure out, and so I could just look into it a little later, on what book, I forgot what book it was in the Old Testament that gives a little bit of the history on Samaria and how they moved in.
2 Kings 17.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll write that down.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? That's it? All right. If no other questions, give a few seconds. Is anybody online looking? You don't see them? All right. They don't got any questions online. We're going to finish up the prayers. We'll give them a few seconds. Remember, the High Holy Days coming up. All right. I think we got ours on lock. So I'm just giving them a few seconds to see if they got anything. Sometimes I be cutting off too quick. So no Shabbat meal today? That was my fault. 39 lashes or 40? No, that's it's all this is. I know how it goes. But communication. Step up communication. You've been here. Nothing online?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I might as well put you out for them. Rise and face east. Barakatah Yehovah. Barakatah Yehovah. Barakatah Yehovah. Barakatah Yehovah. For your wisdom, for the knowledge, understanding, the water for the faith. Please bless us with all the fruits of the Spirit, and forsake us not to our pride, to our lust, to our doubt. Please, Yahweh, continually strengthen and bless your saints, the nation, with righteousness, holiness. Deliver us, Yahweh. Deliver us, Yahweh. Deliver us, Yahweh, from this wicked and froward generation. Please, Yahweh, come quickly and deliver your servants. Gather all the tribes of your iPod together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. Make the time short and remember the covenant and let them declare thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation. And pour out wrath. Take away the adversary. And destroy the enemy. Please, Yahweh. Bring this kingdom to an end. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The water. Tamyah. Aman. Just hold it up. Barakatay Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Tahawa'ah. Natalanawa. Ha-tarara.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Barakatay Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Tahawa'ah. Natalanawa. Excuse me. Award. Lara'ah. Excuse me.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the light to see.
Barakatay Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Tahawa'ah. Natalanawa. Ha'ayo. Korah. La Korah. Ha'ayin.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people.
Barakatay Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Tahawa'ah. Natalanawa. Shema. Zayah. Lamashah. Yash'al.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
And as always, we do anointings after class, the prayer of anointings. Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and to sing praises unto his name. O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night upon an instrument of 10 strings and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Yahweh, has made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up his wrath, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, are most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But our horn shall thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. We shall be anointed with fresh oil. My eye also shall see my desires of my enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against us. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh Shai shall flourish in the courts of the Most High. They shall bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock. And there is no unrighteousness in him. Ba'ashem Yahushua. This is Psalms 133. Shayar, Hamalawah, Ladawah, Hana, Matawa, Wama, Na'ayam, Sabbath, Akim, Gum, Yakad, Kashaman, Hatawa, Ayil, Harash, Yurad, Ayil, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharan, Shayarad, Alapanya, Madawathua, Katol, Karawan, Shayarad, Ayil, Hariyah, Tazayawan, Kaya. Sham. Tazawah. Yahweh. Habaraka. Kayayam. Ay. Haywalam. Aman.
Psalms chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Amen.
Hashem Yahushua. Amen. All right. Another Shabbat down. It goes so quick. Call it.
I'll give him money. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yadmatah, turn to face the lovely, meek, humble daughters of Zion. Call it.
Saluting out the daughters of Zion, the men of Israel, Amadi. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Dismissed. Let's say Shabbat Shalom to everybody online. Shabbat Shalom. Love you, brothers and sisters. Thank you for tuning in. Being respectful. Being in honor. Being in the body. Shalom.